Make sure this doesn't break. All right. Hey, everybody. Give it up for me. I thought he duct taped it to the stand. That would have been really awkward. He didn't. All right, I'll put it back. Don't lie to me. So we're going to talk about dating, everybody, and I know, we're all in that age. We're in Rexburg. Maybe some of you are on a date right now. I'm sorry. But I just keep having this reoccurring problem of being ugly. So let's talk about something else. I really like churches. What a segue. But I really like seeing churches that are really unproportionate. And what I mean is, like, I'm from the Bible Belt. I'm from Tennessee, as you can probably tell. And there's a church on every corner. I love driving past these really massive monoliths of churches that have this tiny itty-bitty afterthought of a steeple on top. And I'm just like... Because all I can ever see is the body of Dwayne The Rock Johnson with Kevin Hart's face on it. And then I have the absolute opposite end of the spectrum where I'll see these tiny itty-bitty little podunk churches that are probably about the same size as my flat apartment, and they have these just absolutely gigantic steeples, and I just always think they're compensating for something. It's probably false doctrine. Back to dating. You know what's crazy? Probably your ex. But yeah, the explaining how two of mine are here tonight. There they are. Thanks for participating. The only reason I have a Brillums Plus account is so the cute cashier will ask me for my number. I mean, it works every time. Oh, yes. So, people are really bad at dating here. Honestly, just that's how it is. I remember back when I went to school, like a month ago, there was a guy in my religion class, and he gets up and, starts to pray to start off our religion course, and in front of himself, myself, all 30 students, our professor, and what he assumed was our deity, he prayed that him and the girl next to him would be able to go on a date in front of everyone. Yeah, that was great. It was only, topped by the guy that I heard while I was eating at Gringo's in the next booth over, who was praying on their first date. They had mentioned that. He prayed over the food and prayed that they would end up in the temple together. First date. Yeah. But nothing compared. Do you guys think this is bad now? It only gets worse. I was sitting in McDonald's. And in the stall, like just across the way, this is the highway McDonald's, not the other one by Cal Ranch. This is the highway McDonald's. And that's, kind of important. This guy proposed to his girlfriend of 6 weeks in McDonald's. And the only thing that's worse is she said yes! What am I doing wrong? 6 weeks! And he announced it to everybody. He's just like, I like everybody's attention. He was selfie filming it the whole time. I'm just like, dude! Congrats. So yeah, as you can tell, there's a lot of red flags. For me specifically, I've kind of been in the dating game for a little too long, and understanding kind of how red flags work, and some of the bigger red flags for myself are when she's really, and I mean really, into horses. Or when you're on the first date and she asks about your porn addiction. Or when she's a vegan. Absolute biggest red flag. On a similar note, do we have anybody that's colorblind? Yeah? No? I can't really see any of you. Yes? No? Nobody here? Okay, well, I had a roommate that was, and I was really concerned about him all the time because all he ever saw were orange flags. And I really couldn't help a brother out. So I was walking through the Cedars the other day, like visiting a friend, and I was walking behind these two girls from a respectable distance, and one of them was like scrolling through Instagram and like showed her friend that she was walking with and talked rather loudly, and she was like, "Hey, you remember that guy that I went on a date with a week ago that was 1/10 gay? Yeah, he's engaged now." I'm like, what? What do you mean 1/10 gay? Like, what does that even mean? So I started thinking in the entire length of the hallways, because they're like a mile long, and I'm just like, okay, let's break this down. Maybe he likes 1/10 of every guy, and I mean for some of it's maybe 1/11th, but maybe. I didn't say me. And then, I was just like, okay, well, maybe that's not it. Like, some of us aren't as blessed as others, but, whoa, now you get it. You must be one of them. Anyways, I'm just like, okay, what else could this possibly mean? It's just like, okay, maybe he's like, like maybe 1 out of every 10 guys. And, that's a little more acceptable. But then I really got thinking into it, because, I'm already this far. And I'm just like, okay, what if it's like once every 10 days? He's just like, yeah. And, I can just imagine, his now fiance, like, they get married in a few months, and they're just like, oh, yeah, she's like one to get hot and heavy in the bedroom, and, she's like kissing his neck and stuff, and he's just like, babe, not today. Like, it's on the calendar, it's my time of the month. So, as you can tell, dating's not going so hot for me. But many of you have heard of what we call the friend zone, yeah? Yeah, many of you are in it. I'm not, because I've sunken below that. It's a much worse place, and it's more miserable, and I'm in what we call the dog zone. Let me explain. So the dog zone is where the girl that you really like or have a crush on always comments on your pictures and is like, oh, he's so cute, and like walks up to you and like rubs your hair, like, because you have nice hair, and she's just like, oh, wow, it's so soft. And then, she's never going to ask you on a date that's not at Porter Park. And if on the odd chance that you do finally get a chance to go over to her apartment to watch a movie, it's going to be Beauty and the Beast, and you're laying on the floor. But I do get lucky every once in a while. Not in that way, but a girl once hit on me in the library like 3 years ago, and the pickup line that she decided to use was not one I had heard before, and it kind of went like this. She walks up to me, and I'm just working away on something stupid, and she's like, "Hey, you look like my GPA. I know I could do better, but I'd be fine if you stuck around." So I took out my headphones, and I'm like, oh. Well, if you look anything like my grades, you've probably had D's in everything since high school, so stuck that headphone right back in. Things didn't go well for my parents either, but, I don't know why, because, my dad got a vasectomy, and, we really thought him getting a vasectomy would keep my mom from getting pregnant again, but, surprise, the baby just comes out a different color. Why is that horrible? I got a new brother. So yeah, we're gonna take a couple steps back here, and we're gonna talk about this one girl that I dated, and oh man, she was the worst. She's not here tonight, thank goodness. And I didn't know this about her, but she was a vegan. She didn't let me know this before we started dating, somehow. And, you know, this was like our second or third date, and we were just, you know, having a good time, invited her over for a movie. You know, like, we were kissing and stuff, you know, not really watching Pirates of the Caribbean, because we've both seen it forever. Like, it's the best make-out movie anyways. Nobody pays attention, dark lighting. Anyways, so, like, she kind of pulls back for a half second and just, like, locks eyes with me, and she's just like, "Artichoke me, daddy." So I did. And I killed her. And that's my confession for Netflix special. Thanks, everybody.